Mr. Stoner, have you ever participated in tests on those ESDs?
No, sir.
No. Have you ever participated in any tests on the overspeed devices?
No, sir.
Okay. How about any tests on the low lube oil sensor? Like when the Coast Guard or the ABS comes out, you know, we want to see
Well,
those
now,
tests.
Like if they do, I guess in a way you would do ESDs because we would have to go reset HPU units, the hydraulic power units, to open, make sure all the ventilation's open back up.
Okay. I was curious if you knew when the motors oversped, if they were in the overspeed, would those dampers go closed to the engine room, the air intakes?
Not right offhand, I wouldn't know.
Okay. Would you know that if the engines or the motors were shut off, would those dampers go closed?
No. As long as the dampeners would stay open and running to keep the air all circulating just right. Otherwise, if one dampener closed and everything like that, it's going to blow a door off.
Okay. All right. In the statement that did you write your statement that the Coast Guard has?
I had to have a Coast Guard on South Paul.
No, that's okay. I just want to make sure. You had said, or the Coast Guard officer or the person that accepted your, I guess, verbal statement, they had mentioned you all were de-isolating a thruster. Were y'all doing some maintenance on a thruster, and where's that equipment located on the rig?
We had to go down to the thrusters, which down in the pontoons, and we changed out a seawater spool going to the old board.
Okay.
We replaced it and was just got the paperwork finished to go ahead and de-isolate it. In other words, put it back into service. Open after we had to go back down, go ahead and open all our valves after got all the paperwork and everything signed, and then we would go ahead and proceed of having somebody down there to watch the pump kick on, and then to verify that nothing blew a hole in it somewhere else, or the pump kicked on just right or something to that effect, and then there would have been somebody calling the bridge to make sure that they kicked the pump on.
Okay. And then when you're all finished, the thrusters were put back in service and
yes,
good to go? Okay. Now, we had stopped with you during when did you hear the order to abandon the rig? Do you remember? If you don't, that's okay.
I can't recall exactly whether it was as soon as after the first explosion, or whether it was after the second one.
Okay. And what was your muster station? Where was that at?
You'd stay put until you muster. They'll say the muster station is going to be lifeboats 1 and 2, or lifeboats 3 and 4.
Okay. And where were you going? What did you hear?
They said they called lifeboats 1 and 2 would be muster stations.
Okay. Now, I understood you didn't go across the main deck. You went down one deck, and then how'd you go?
We came out, went up on the main deck.
Yep.
Went forward to the port side all the way down.
Okay.
Stepped over a step. Mr. Manfield opened up the watertight door to go back down.
Okay.
I told him that we were not going to go that way.
Yeah.
He closes the door. We went ahead and went straight past on top of the deck, past the port crane, and between the port crane and the BOP house.
Okay.
To the bridge.
All right. And then you went up to the bridge, or did you get to your lifeboat station?
You went straight to the bridge. As soon as you got inside the bridge, we sat Brent down. He more or less they looked at him and said that he needed a doctor, or medic, and by that time, they was ready to start evacuating, so me and Mr. Mansfield got up and headed towards the lifeboats.
Okay, so you actually made it to the bridge before anybody started getting into any of the lifeboats, is that right?
No, we was a couple of the last ones that was actually, we was the last ones that actually entered lifeboat number 2, I believe it is.
Okay, lifeboat number 2. Now, when y'all got to the lifeboat, was the lifeboat full?
Yes.
Was it, I don't remember what the capacities were, I think it was 65, I think. Was everybody in it, or were there still a few seats available?
There was still a few seats available. I mean, I could tell that as soon as you step in the door, yes, all along that there side going around towards front, it was full.
Okay,
And I had to step over the railing in the very back to get into a seat.
okay. And then, when you got to the boat, can you estimate about how much time it was when you sat down that they actually lowered the boats down into the water?
Not right offhand. I know it was right as soon as I got in it, it wasn't within probably maybe a minute, maybe a couple of minutes.
Okay. So everybody that was there got on board the boat?
Yes, I mean, as far as I could tell, there wasn't anybody else standing outside to get in one.
Okay. Could you see out there if there was somebody standing there?
No, it's
Okay.
solid.
Okay. Now, and the boat's lowered down to the water. How did that go? Do you think, well, who was in charge? Was it the guy driving?
Steve Richardson was the one that lowered the boat,
Okay.
and then was the one that operated driving it forward.
Okay. All right. And was anybody helping Steve along the way, going down or operate the vessel or anything like that?
Yes, they had to open up the back door to release the cable, and then somebody up at front had to release the cable in the front.
Why is that?
Well, all I know is
Somebody did it.
somebody did it. All I can say is I was hurting, and I didn't jump up to look and see what was going on or anything to that effect.
Okay. Have you ever ridden down a lifeboat like that before on the falls?
I've gone down in a lifeboat before so we could do the,
Motor it around?
yes.
Okay. All right. So somebody had to open up and release the
Yes.
attachment on the back and on the front?
Yes.
Okay. And then when they motored away, where were they heading? Do you know?
As far as I know, they was headed towards the Bankston.
Okay.
I mean, we was going slow enough to pick up anybody that had jumped,
Okay.
because I know they said that they saw 1 or 2 persons that jumped in the water.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stoner. I just have a couple of questions here concerning the statement the investigator took on your behalf. There's a statement that's attributed to you where you basically say all of the injectors were replaced recently. Do you recall making that statement to him?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell us why you thought that was important?
Well, it was, I know the PM and everything like that was due for everything, and so we just got through changing out all the injectors, so it was running pretty good, and wasn't no, I mean, to me, it was making it more efficient and stuff like that.
When you say you changed out the injectors, were you referring to a specific engine, and which one?
Well, number 3, and then they changed out the number 6 the month before, something like that.
So you were referring to the change out of injectors on the 2 engines that were running at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I know those 2 had been changed out.